At first glance, it looks like an ordinary plant. Small, delicate leaves swaying softly in the breeze. But touch it, and something amazing happens. The leaves move, they fold, they hide. This is the story of the sensitive plant, a living thing with a defense system like no other. A plant that reacts like it has a mind of its own. Hidden in the lush rainforests of South and Central America, there lives a plant that acts like no other. It's called Mimosa pudica, but most people know it by its simpler name, the sensitive plant. At first glance it looks plain, thin green stems with small, feathery leaves. But this plant is far from ordinary. When touched, its leaves fold inward, closing up as if startled. Unlike other plants that grow slowly over days and weeks, the sensitive plant moves in seconds. A simple touch can make its leaves fold up, creating a chain reaction down the stem. But here's the question that has puzzled scientists for centuries. Why does it do this? To understand the sensitive plant's special power, we have to look at its natural home. In the wild, predators are everywhere, from grazing herbivores to hungry insects. For most plants, being eaten is just part of life. But for the Mimosa pudica, it's a fight for survival. When touched, its leaves fold inward, making it look wilted, lifeless, and unappetizing to predators. In the eyes of an insect, it goes from a fresh meal to something old, dead, and inedible. But how does it do this so quickly? The answer lies in something called turgor pressure. Turgor pressure is the internal pressure of water inside a plant's cells. When touched, the sensitive plant releases chemicals that cause the water to flow out of certain cells, collapsing its leaves instantly. This hydraulic reaction happens in a fraction of a second, making it one of the fastest movements in the plant kingdom. This natural reflex is so effective that it's inspired scientists to study how similar mechanisms might be used in robotics and bioengineering. But here's where things get even stranger. The sensitive plant has a memory. Researchers have found that if you keep touching its leaves without hurting it, the plant eventually stops reacting. In an experiment done in the 1970s, scientists placed drops of water on the plant's leaves over and over. At first, the plant reacted as usual, folding its leaves. But after several times, it learned that the water was not a threat. It stopped responding. This shows that plants can learn and remember things, even without a brain. It's an idea that challenges everything we know about intelligence in the natural world. If plants can learn, what else can they do? If you're lucky, you can see Mimosa pudica in its natural habitat, the tropical jungles of South and Central America, Southeast Asia and Africa. But you don't have to travel to a rainforest to see it in action. The sensitive plant is also a popular houseplant, often used in classrooms and science experiments. It grows best in humid, warm conditions and thrives in pots with loose, well-drained soil. And yes, if you touch it, the leaves will still fold, even in your living room. But there's something magical about seeing it in the wild. There, in the heart of the rainforest, you can witness it, behaving as it was meant to, as a survivor in one of the toughest environments on Earth. The sensitive plant isn't just a curiosity, it's a source of scientific inspiration. Engineers have studied its movement to create materials that copy its quick folding ability. Its hydraulic reaction inspired scientists to develop soft, flexible robots that can fold and move like plants. Researchers have looked at how the plant's chemical signals might be used in drug delivery systems for humans. Its quick movements, fast response time, and ability to remember have fascinated engineers, biologists, and neuroscientists alike. Imagine a future where hospitals use plant-inspired medical devices that fold, move, and adapt to human anatomy in real time. Once again, nature is one step ahead. If you've ever seen a sensitive plant react to touch, you'll never forget it. It's a reminder that not all movement needs muscles. In the wild, movement means survival. For Mimosa pudica, that movement is the difference between life and death. Its leaves fold not out of fear, but out of instinct. An instinct perfected by millions of years of evolution. But the story of this plant doesn't end in the jungle. Its ability to learn, remember, and adapt raises a profound question. Do plants have intelligence? The answer may still be hidden in the folds of its leaves. The sensitive plant has no brain, but it remembers. It has no muscles, but it moves. It's a living paradox that shows us there's more to nature than meets the eye. A quiet teacher of resilience, adaptation, and hidden intelligence. If you found this story of nature's most curious plant fascinating, like this video, share it with friends and subscribe to Brain Bites. The world is full of plants that can do the unthinkable, and we'll uncover them one leaf at a time.